Well, we're still in Christmas, so I'm still here wishing you a Merry Christmas and an almost New Year. I say almost because technically when I'm recording this, it is still December 31st. And at the same time, I'm recording this knowing that we have no idea what next year will bring. We have a lot of ideas of what this past year brought, that's for sure. Let's see, we faced a lot of stupid decisions made by different types of politicians, some even as frequent as yesterday, that we're all talking about. We have a bunch of foolish things that famous people got into, whether it be something silly they decided or something provocative that they said or something of that nature. So we had that. We had a lot of people with their celebrations of different kinds, all of them harder to do this year. And on a more serious note, we also lost many people who we love, some close, some friends, some family. And we all had to deal with the variety of difficult and different ways to try and mourn and grieve. But a lot of that is the same as many other years. I'm not trying to dismiss or diminish anything that has happened this year, not at all. This year has been remarkably difficult, remarkably memorable, whether we want to remember it or not. And just in general, something we've had to get through. But something I want to remember and take away from this year, above all else, is the fact that something I noticed was that is a little different from year to year. Even though, yes, there have been times that no matter what year it is, we lose loved ones and we grieve, but even so, we would grieve no matter what the occasion, no matter what year it was. We lose people we love, unfortunately, every day. Politicians will always make stupid decisions. And they will always make good ones too. They will help and manage as well. I'm not saying that all the decisions made this year were bad. Difficult, complicated, but And the foolish things that famous people say, that'll happen. The foolish things that people do in the media. But something I noticed that was unique to this year, something I noticed that was exceptionally different beyond all the difficulties, was all of the genuine acts of goodness, of helpfulness, of patience, and of forgiveness. And all of these things came together for one simple and important reason. We were all in the same boat. We were all in the same, emergency. Not one person on this planet, in some way or another, had no contact or something affected to them directly because of the things we've had to encounter. Everyone has been touched by the ridiculous emergencies that we've faced in this year. And I say ridiculous in the sense of no one would ever predict that this is something we would see. No one would ever say out loud and off the top of their head, what's going to happen in 2020? I bet you it's going to be this. And then us have to face it all down. But the patience, the forgiveness, the giving wide berth to people so that they can make room for all the things they need to do and accomplish the things that they can or can't. The understanding, the confidence in overcoming issues. In all of this, I see a lot of good that has happened this past year, in the midst of all of the usual tragedy and difficulty. That is something I want you to take away, if nothing else this year. That amidst all the troubles, trials, and tribulations, we've also accomplished great things that allowed us to come together to help, to be patient. And something I'd like you to be reminded of is that we need to continue that forgiveness, that patience, and that well-giving well into this new year as well. Epiphany is coming. We celebrate that the very first, usually, Sunday of January. And it's in that time where we are reminded that even after all of the fanfare of the angels coming and Jesus' birth, there were still things to be done, and hard reminders of what had to come. When the wise men showed up on their doorstep, bringing those 3 important gifts, one of them still struck a chord harder than the rest, reminding the future of Jesus was still going to be a hard one. But even then, we remember the goodness of the giving, the blessing of the coming of the wise men and of Christ himself, and of the diligence found in Mary and Joseph to make sure that even in these hard times and hard road ahead, things would go as well as they could. They would do as much as they could, and they would do so with patience and reverence. I invite us all to do the same, as best we can. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, and most importantly of all, don't dwell on the things and the hardships that we must face. These things will pass, and most importantly, we are making and endeavoring to make these things even better. But the only way that we could do that to the best of our ability is by doing exactly what we have been doing. Coming together, forgiveness, and patience. In the midst of all the things that we have to face down this past year and the year to come, God bless you. Have a safe and healthy 2021, and I'll see you on the other side. God bless everyone.